Look at redesigning your journey from click to form fill. Don't just use AI for first draft creation. Always keep it close to revenue. So we'll talk about custom GPTs soon, but for your first one, choose something near the money. You're going to be surprised how little tech it takes to make a difference.
Marketing, like a symphony, is a harmonious blend of instruments. But without the proper direction, it's just noise. Welcome to the Supply Chain Marketing Show, presented by Supply Chain Brain Media. From the art of storytelling to the science of data, we'll uncover marketing strategies that drive success. Struggling to hit numbers with a maxed out team? This episode shows how smart AI plus human strategy can fix one real marketing headache, boost results, and free your week. Now, here's your host, Supply Chain Marketing Guide, and I guarantee 100% human, Ralph Henderson.
Driving leads, revenue, and ROI. Bringing the clarity, the systems, and real-world experience you, the professional supply chain marketer, need to make AI work and where it matters most. Welcome to the Supply Chain Marketing Show, brought to you by Supply Chain Brain Media. I'm your host, Ralph Henderson, and today we're cutting straight through the hype to tackle something every supply chain marketer and leader is wrestling with: how to turn AI into real, measurable marketing results. And what you should absolutely hand to AI. Second, how to turn one real marketing headache into a custom GPT that moves numbers. Third, what an AI-supported lean marketing team actually looks like. Leslie Carruthers is the founder and president of The Search Guru, a digital marketing agency serving complex B2B organizations. She's a recognized expert in AI-driven marketing, SEO, and conversion optimization, a speaker at Content Marketing World, SMX, eTail, and many, many more, and consistently named as the top voice in marketing and SEO. Leslie brings the clarity, the systems, and the real-world experience teams need to make AI work where it matters most: driving leads, revenue, and ROI. So let's jump right in. Welcome, Leslie.
Hey, thanks. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We really appreciate you being here. And I know the audience is eager to hear what you have to say about some of these things. So let me begin with this question. Many of our listeners are under pressure to hit big goals with limited teams, and sometimes a team of one. They're using AI here and there, but some feel guilty and even behind. Like if the work feels easier, that maybe they're cheating somehow, or maybe they're making themselves replaceable. What do you say to a supply chain marketer that feels that way?
Yeah, first, they're not imagining it. We're not imagining it. That this was too easy guilt is something that I hear often when I speak with marketers. And then other marketers are worried that if they don't learn AI, they'll fall behind. Or worse, if they do lean in, they'll just speed up the case for fewer humans. If we think back to when calculators came out, there were protests. People didn't want them used in schools. Spell check, the internet. Every time something comes up, and well, this is a pretty big one, people felt like they were cheating, and then it becomes normalized. So I totally get it. What I'd like to do here is to reframe the risk, because there's definitely risk, but it's more about if you're not using AI, it's more about how you are using it. So if you just think about it as a way to go faster, like a faster keyboard, then you're building the case for fewer humans. If you're using AI to do work that never would have happened otherwise, better campaigns, sharper ICPs, ideal customer profile insights, clearer messaging, then you're building the case for why you're essential. So we really want to think about AI in a way that protects our roles and strengthens our value. And we can do that by tying it back to real reality. How can we hit pipeline goals, fix broken landing pages, clean up reports, drive revenue, really performance metrics? So what are the things that where the human involvement is non-negotiable? So focus our thinking here on which problems should we solve first. Prioritization is something that needs the marketing leadership involved in, right? And focus on tying it to revenue goals. Reading the room is another one. What's important to sales, leadership, customers, politics, timing? And then a big one, ethical judgment and brand risk. What shouldn't we say or do? We really need a human at the beginning and at the end of anything that's got AI in it. Another big one would be cross-functional alignment, getting sales, ops, product to do more together. AI is not going to be able to facilitate that. And then last but not least, relationship building. So important to supply chain marketers. And if we can take some things off our desk to focus more on building relationships that are going to meet our goals now and build pipeline for the future, that's wonderful. That's your job, and that's not going away.
Yeah, and at the offset, you talked about the calculator, and I'm old enough to remember that. I mean, I am. I remember when those came in. I mean, I remember when the internet started. I remember when a lot of these things came in. And, and you're bringing up something that I want the folks who are maybe 30 years and younger to understand is, these are cycles. Technology, isn't going away, and so just understand that there is going to be something that happens that we feel like, it's taking jobs away, or, if we use it, it's somehow bad or negative or what have you. And it's not to minimize what we're going through right now, obviously, but it is to let them know they're going to go through this just like everyone else did. And at the end of the day, I believe we will get to a point where we see where it adds the most value. I really do. So this is a great follow-up question to that then. So if I'm a marketer and I get behind on goals and my team is maxed, and like I said, in the supply chain space, I would say more often than not, these teams are not very big. And I'm using AI a little bit, but mostly just to, quote, write faster, like you were talking about. If I actually want AI to help me hit my numbers, like, where do I start?
Yeah, absolutely. Start from the pain, not the tech. So find the place where it hurts the most, either for you and marketing leadership, for the folks you're reporting to. Can you not keep up with the content schedule you've been assigned? Are you spending hours on reporting that you need to get back? Or is there a landing page on the website that is bombing and we need it to work again? Whatever the biggest, not necessarily most visible for your first effort, but something that hurts more than one person is a great place to start. And always keep it close to revenue. So we'll talk about custom GPTs soon, but for your first one, choose something near the money. Improving a key landing page, faster follow-up for good leads, clear reporting to leadership, something that matters. And then it's always great to take a look. Often we've got tools in our tech stack that are offering AI tools now, pieces, parts. So see what's available to you and dig into that. One of the things I love is you can take a Loom video or a Zoom video, whatever, of yourself using the tool, upload it, make sure there isn't any sensitive information or IP in there, personalized data, and then upload it. You can obfuscate and fuzz out things if you need to into an LLM, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, whatever you use, Claude, and say, how can I use this better? Right? Those are some nice quick wins. And then build one custom GPT. Inside of ChatGPT, you've got the ability to create a specialist. If you're at that $20 a month threshold or higher, you can do this. In Gemini, they're called gems. In Claude, they're called projects. And Microsoft Copilot, they're called copilots. And treat it like a junior teammate. So your job is to do first draft passes, for copy for this page, or turn my notes into a weekly performance summary, or let's take a look together at the screenshot of this landing page that's bombing right now. That's a more sophisticated use case, but totally doable. And then make sure that you give the AI enough context to be useful. We can go back and add additional context later. That's a really powerful move. But as long as it's not IP, sensitive information, like really, I like to use voice input, right? So suggest to folks rather than typing, because you'll say more when more comes out of you when you're speaking than when you're typing. And just tell it, here's what's going on. How can you help me? And you're going to find out, I almost can guarantee it, you're going to be surprised how little tech it takes to make a difference. Mostly, give it a good brief and give it the right examples, and you're off to the races, and it will make a difference.
Yeah. And you brought up a couple of really, really powerful points. And I know the supply chain marketer out there is oftentimes saying, hey, I need the support or the backing or, the encouragement, or more importantly, the investment from the people I report to. And obviously to get, what I need in order to be more successful. Well, if you're working on the thing that's of great pain and bringing revenue, I think they're going to be interested in that. So those are two very good things to remember when it comes to starting with this.
We'll be back after this brief message.
In today's complex supply chain, marketing has never been more critical. But are you leveraging the full potential of your marketing efforts? Supply Chain Brain Media created 2 resources to help you discover what's new and what works. The Supply Chain Marketing Group series is designed to educate you on services and how to implement them into your marketing program. On the Supply Chain Marketing Show, hear firsthand how experts are implementing the elements from the 5 rings of supply chain marketing to drive results. Ready to elevate your marketing game? Schedule a 30-minute consult today. Email Morgan at supplychainbrainmedia.com. Supply Chain Brain Media, your guide to marketing success.
And now back to our show.
Listen, a lot of teams are using AI to move faster, but not necessarily seeing better pipeline or revenue, which is what I'm referring to right now. So for a performance-focused marketer, what's the shift from AI for efficiency to AI for results really look like?
Yep, absolutely. We need to stop our thinking or shift our thinking from, hey, do this thing faster or get more done. Like, let's pump out more noise that is probably not going to move the needle or build pipeline for us. We really need to look at where can AI help us really move the needle, not just make a faster keyboard. So look at your pain points, look at what matters to the organization, and really focus on revenue-driven items. So look at redesigning your journey from click to form fill, right? Have AI test, refine, and analyze where people drop off. Don't just use AI for first draft creation. Create a persona-driven custom GPT where you've given it all the psychographic, demographic, all the information, the juicy bits that get it all out of your head into the custom GPT and have it generate a dozen headlines and test those again. Say, now here's a blog post that's been completed. What can I do to make this harder hitting for you? What can I change here that would drive you to identify yourself as a prospect, to fill out this form? Really get into not just that beginning part where you're brainstorming, you're writing a draft, but what's going to drive engagement? What's going to have you be a yes? And we don't pull those things out. They can be as performative as a human focus group. It's really exciting.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that so much, Leslie, because it's also making you more valuable, right? I remember when I was at Sara Lee early in my career, and we were working with SAP and putting in a really large ERP, and the analysts were using these pivot tables, and they were doing all of these calculations and all that. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. What are you using? And they looked at me and said, Excel. And I was like, holy smokes. Well, the correlation is I thought Excel was just to add columns or to do rows, right? And they were like, no, this is way more powerful. Well, I think that's where we are with AI. And look, to everybody's defense, it's still relatively new. So don't feel like you're behind or that you're not using it well. Leslie's just letting you know there's more to it than just making whatever you're doing faster or more of it. But think of it more like Excel and getting to pivot tables. And before that sounds too cerebral or maybe even a heavy lift, remember, the more you get into this, the more valuable you become. And that's really, on the Supply Chain Marketing Show, one of the things we want to do is bring you information about supply chain marketing, but we also want to make what you're doing more valuable for you so that you can become, obviously more valuable in the market. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And what marketer doesn't want to get to the work that they never have time for?
Yeah.
Right? The really strategic, juicy stuff.
Right. No, that's right. That's exactly right. So when you look at how the best teams are using AI, since we're talking about that now, what are the parts of marketing that should stay deeply human? And what are the types of work where it's actually healthy to hand them off to your AI teammate?
Yep. Well, deciding which problems to solve first, for sure, prioritization is a deeply human task. Leveraging the tools you have currently, you're probably not using all the AI bits and pieces in your current tech stack. And there are some quick wins there that you can report on. Make sure you're aligned with sales and marketing, that they are having conversations and they're starting to shift, if they haven't already, from a department-centered focus to a customer journey-centered focus. And really have conversations proactively about ethical judgment and brand risk, bring legal and compliance into the mix. They're not just saying, okay, this is an IT function, this is a marketing function, everybody else stay out. Ideally, you're creating policy for the organization and you've got an AI council coming together and meeting about this. And folks are on it, are passionate and acting on this. And you have to have CXO level support. There's got to be somebody really high up who's pushing and making space and helping you get stuff done, right? And make sure that clear with legal about what you can and can't do. It's nerve-wracking when you're pioneering alone and no one's given you permission to where you can play and where not to, because you shouldn't ideally have access to everything, all the opportunities all at once. You want to roll up into it all. Then go ahead.
And I'm a big fan of alliteration. So what I just heard was, compliance, communication, coordination, right? I mean, these are things as a marketer I should be doing anyhow. But when it comes to AI, and what's really cool, Leslie, and I love that you're bringing this up with the compliance, with legal, but you're also bringing up the whole sponsorship thing that I was talking about earlier, where, now you can get an executive who maybe is exciting. And I know this is the case because, again, I'm out there a lot talking to a lot of supply chain marketing executives. And they're very excited about AI and they're very excited about how it will help them with their brand and their lead generation and their content development. And so if you could find one or more of those folks who are excited, that are at the executive level, now you've got the sponsorship. If you get that in addition to the compliance, well, as the marketing person, now you've just become a very integral part of your company's ability to go to market. That's really key. So that's cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And that AI council piece is also very important. Cross-functional teams who are focused on how to roll out AI in the organization. That's what the most successful organizations are doing with AI right now. And marketing can be a great lead. I think it's a better lead than IT, honestly.
I do too. No, I do too. Now, this is great. So, okay, so you talked about treating AI like a team of specialists, which I like, by the way, instead of like one magic boss. box.
Yep.
So for a small overloaded marketing team, what role should you give AI first?
Yeah, and we're all dancing to this song, right? Because no one out there has really, I don't know anyone who's got the luxury of adding headcount and they're not taking advantage of it. They need help without more people. And again, this isn't about, we're AI forward in this conversation. It's not AI over people. So just want to re-emphasize that. We are dealing with the reality of constrained resources. We never have enough. So we want to give AI clear jobs, especially initially. So we need to put up numbers to show the wins, to build additional support and get more yeses. So strategy, anything that helps us turn business goals into campaign ideas and briefs is going to make a difference. Editor, custom GPTs or gems or co-pilots, clean up copy, check for clarity, making sure that our tone is consistent. That's a great use case. Social media, LinkedIn post, turning core ideas or repurposing content tailored to your audience, tested against those persona GPTs, for instance, that you've modeled after your ideal buyers. And you can really up performance, engagement, lead flow. Again, they can be as effective as human focus groups given enough data and information. And we haven't talked about it yet, but one of the things that we need to make sure is happening alongside all of these conversations and this work is that we're talking with the folks who own the data in the organization. Because if we don't have access to trend data, to specifics about what customers are doing and how they think and what they need, or if it's in a format we can't access, then it might as well not be there. And that's it's just a crime. It's a crime. It's a shame and a crime, right? So these junior specialists that you can delegate to, the better we can holistically look at the organization, the data we have access to, how we can get access to it, how we can continue to refine and grow, polish, clean all those raw materials that can get fed into these custom GPTs or other AI tools that we have access to in the enterprise. Then, we really can move from an AI teammate that gets us from an idea to a campaign to revenue with less friction.
Yeah. And, again, Leslie, what you're talking about, and I want everybody who's watching and listening to really get excited, is that I'm more valuable as a team member now. If I'm working with all of the data and I'm connected with compliance and legal, and I've got executive sponsorship. Oh my goodness gracious. Now I'm, part of the team, but you talk about tone. I don't want anybody to get nervous out there, but I remember it was a while back when I wrote something on AI, or I was writing something, and the AI who I use all the time, who was a team member, said to me, and I'm not kidding, the AI said, "This doesn't sound like you. This isn't your normal tone. Is everything okay?" And it was really funny because I was quite pissed off at what I was doing. And the AI picked up on that.
It caught that. Yeah.
That's not normal. So it really will become a teammate for you. So I think that's important. All right. So now can you share a real example where using AI this way, almost like the small team of custom GPTs, just like I just gave us, actually improved results, not just save time?
Yes, absolutely. So this was a manufacturing company, and they surgical equipment manufacturer. In fact, they had tens of thousands of SKUs and a very small marketing team. Nothing was going to happen. They were between you and me, 2 years out from an acquisition, and really looking to improve and put up good numbers. So they wanted more sales on commodity products. They'd take more sales for anything. So we took their revenue data by SKU and we sorted so that we had the SKUs that drove the most revenue. And then we took a Google Search Console report and we looked at key phrases related to those SKUs that were ranking four to, let's say 4 to 30 in Google, and the corresponding pages for those. And the ones that were on that SKU list then got put on a master list. We also checked a few Google Analytics reports, conversion, and looked at traffic and sources of traffic. And then we interviewed the marketing team to really grok the compliance requirements, because we could not trigger a compliance review in this process of optimizing these SKU pages. So the goal was to optimize and improve traffic flow and conversion rate on these top revenue earning SKUs. Could not trigger compliance. The marketing team was overworked. We couldn't take a lot of their time once we got rolling with this system we were building that is scalable. And we were able to, after it did take about a month just to be straight about it, because there were no compliance. There wasn't a documented, here's what does and doesn't work. Here's what will get flagged. Here's what's okay. We really had to pull it out of the marketing leadership's brains. And then we built a custom GPT that could optimize the content, understand the industry, merge in the compliance rules. We pulled content from a couple of competitors' websites as well as from the client's website for those SKU pages. And then we optimized the pages, gave them to the product managers. Long story short, 75% of those pages doubled their organic traffic within weeks of going live. And we're still in the process of measuring conversion rate improvements, but we also gained improvements in conversion rate. I wish I had those for today. I'll have them very soon. And it's a better than 7,000% return on investment project. They were thrilled. And it's a scalable system. Yep.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. If they're not thrilled at that, then it's over, right? I mean,
and that work was not going to happen. There was no way the team could have taken that project in addition to what else they were doing. So they were able to show leadership, look what we accomplished with a minimal tool set, really low tech, custom GPTs, and things we already had, Google Search Console reports, Google Analytics reports, our own data, revenue driving SKU pages. Yeah, it was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that is, man, what, and we will definitely wrap with that because that's a fantastic story. So thank you so much for your time today, Leslie. This is great. I know my audience, the Supply Chain Brain marketing show is going to really enjoy you and enjoy, what they've heard here. And we will definitely give them a way to get a hold of you. So please be on the lookout for that, everybody. And then once again, Leslie, thank you. And look, for all of you watching, remember, my mantra to you is, instead of you knocking on doors, how about they knock on yours, right? And so if we can make this more valuable, I think the second mantra I have is, may your next 12 months be your best year ever. Well, guess what? Leslie's just giving you a lot of information for that to be a reality. So let's do that. Yes, let's do that. Thank you, Leslie. We appreciate you. We wish you the best.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor.
Our pleasure.
To discover how you can blend your marketing instruments into a harmonious sound and rise above the noise, schedule a 30-minute consultative session. Email morgan@supplychainbrainmedia.com. Again, that email address is morgan@supplychainbrainmedia.com. If you have any questions or episode suggestions, you can send those to morgan@supplychainbrainmedia.com. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Supply Chain Marketing Show presented by Supply Chain Brain Media. This is an omni-channel production in conjunction with PWE Media.